You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Office of Transportation Cooperatives Chairman Andy Ortega. Chairman Andy, welcome to The Source. Thank you so much for your time, sir. All right, we're going to try to have that connection again because I was speaking to the chairman a while ago and asking him kung meron na pong numero doon sa mga nag-consolidate after the December 31 deadline. But the chairman was saying that there's still no data on this, at least no latest data on this. We will try to get our connection with the chairman. We'll try again right now. Chairman, can you hear me? Okay, he's going to try to log in again. All right, so it's actually day 3 since the December 31 deadline for consolidation. That ended, as mentioned a while ago, 3 days ago. So it's good to find out how many public utility vehicles have actually consolidated. Latest data, at least from what was announced and reported on television and in the newspapers and online, about 70% have consolidated nationwide, but only 40%, I believe, in NCR. I wanted to ask actually the chairman if that number and that percentage refers to all public utility vehicles or jeepneys alone. That being said, of course, the problem in NCR are the the number of protests staged by transport groups opposing the consolidation and the PUV modernization program. So let's try again right now. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Office of Transportation Cooperatives Chairman Andy Ortega. Chairman, can you hear me? Are you on the phone now?
Yeah, pasensya na, Pinky.
Okay lang
There's
po.
a problem with my Zoom, but we can continue with this phone patch na lang.
No
Good
problem,
morning.
sir. We'll try Zoom a little later on. So Chairman, ang una ko pong tanong, pangatlong araw na po since the December 31 deadline for consolidation. So what is the fate of the jeeps po, who have not consolidated today?
Okay, good question, Pinky. No? Today, there's an announcement that we will be releasing or may be released by the OTR. So yung mga hindi nag-consolidate na operators, meaning their jeepney drivers, can still ply the route. Okay? Tuloy lang. Because there's a lot of groups that went to our office, pati sa LTFRB, on the consolidation deadline. So it will take a few more days. No? LTFRB has asked the OTR a few more days para makapag-release sila ng final count regarding on the numbers, Pinky.
So hindi pa ho sila kolorum sa mga papasadang mga jeep na hindi nag-consolidate?
It will be unfair to call them as colorum because there is a process that has to be followed, that has to be done. So sabi nga, di ba, there's this like 30-day notice or rather processing ng kanilang show cause. So after that 30 days, magkakaroon ng decision ang LTFRB. If an operator did not consolidate, it will now be revoked or canceled. That's the time that they have to follow yung order ng LTFRB. But as of now, we're not talking about the term colorum sa kanila. That's
okay.
unfair.
Let's drop the word colorum. But I'll be honest with you, sir. Nalito po ako. So, sabi niyo po ngayon, pwede pa po silang pumasada kahit po sa mga area that have over 60% na consolidated, pwede pa rin po sila doon. In other words, libre po silang pumasada sa nakagawian nilang ruta until December 31. Would that be the correct interpretation, sir?
Yes, tama yung Pinky. That's the information that was given to us by DOTR. So for the whole month of January, still pwede silang pumasada.
Okay. So what happens? Ano ho mangyayari after January 31 naman po?
Yeah. During the process of these 30 days, the whole of January, magkakaroon ng final list ang LTFRB on what routes merong 60% or less than 60%, or more than 60%. Doon muna tayo dun sa more than 60%, definitely by February, no? Yung mga hindi nag-consolidate cannot already apply the routes or rather use their franchise. Pero dun sa mga less than 60%, lower than 60%, definitely, just to be clear, no, after January 31, lahat ng mga hindi nag-consolidate cannot fly the routes anymore after January 31.
Kahit na
So
po
that's
yung,
the
sorry sir, kahit na po yung mababa yung consolidation rate that is lower than
yes,
60%,
yes.
bawal na rin po
Yeah.
sila doon.
Yeah, we're talking here of after January 31, Pinky, no? So
Opo.
lahat ng hindi nag-consolidate, whatever yung percentage mo, hindi ka na pwede bumiyahe after after January 31.
Ibig
Yes,
sabihin,
Pinky.
pag patakbo ng February 1, kapag hindi ka nag-consolidate, bawal ka nang pumasada, period.
That's right. Pero sabi ko nga earlier, there's a due process that has to be given to be fair to everybody para by January 31, before February 1, they already have the document and everybody should follow such document, such decision by LTFRB.
What document is this? At ano po ang ilalaman nitong dokumentong to?
Yeah, proseso to ng LTFRB, ano? They'll be given a show cause order, parang tatanungin what happened to you, ikaw ba'y nag-consolidate or hindi, so sasagot ka, no? So once you give an answer, evaluation, check ng LTFRB, and then ang final nun is a decision wherein LTFRB will have to cancel or revoke your franchise dahil hindi ka nag-consolidate. So that's the process, Pinky.
Chairman, I hope you don't mind my asking, why would that matter if you did not consolidate? Because my understanding is, kung hindi ka mag-consolidate, mawawala naman di ho ba yung iyong prangkisa? So, sabihin po natin na mag-show cause po si LTFRB at tanungin sila bakit hindi kayo nag-consolidate, sasagot po sila at mawawala ang kanilang prangkisa. Hindi ho ba by January 31, tanggal na po yung kanilang prangkisa if they don't consolidate?
Alam mo, Pinky, tama yung question mo, but syempre, there's a due process that LTFRB has to follow. Kailangan may mga certain paper requirements yan, merong notice yan.
I see.
So the process has to be followed.
Apo.
Hindi naman pwede ora-orada sasabihin wala kang nag-consolidate noong December 31 and then I will just not give you anything, then huli na kita or something. Hindi naman pwede yun.
So,
there is a process that has to be followed.
And it has to be on paper, ano po, and it has to be documented
Tama
at
yun,
kailangan
tama yun,
may
tama
sagot.
yun.
Okay, understandable, sir. Pero malinaw po yun. Pagpatak ng Feb 1, ay hindi na po sila tanggal ang kanilang franchise, tama ho ba? At hindi na sila pwedeng pumasada. Okay.
Tama.
Pending of course, sir, this petition before the Supreme Court.
Tama. Wala pang decision ng Supreme Court, so whatever the decision of the Supreme Court, everybody has to follow it.
May I find out, Chairman, could there be a possibility that this January 31 could again be extended? Because let's go back to December 31. When we were talking about this December 31 with the other officials, ano po, sabi nila pagpatak ng January 1, yun na po, there's no extension. Even the President said there is no extension anymore. However, papayagan po sila dun sa mga ruta na mababa po yung consolidation rate. This was moved. In fact, this December 31, quite honestly, has been moved 1 month. Di ba? Ganun lang ho ata kasimple intindihin ito eh. Nabigyan pa sila ng 1 buwan na palugit.
Yeah, alam mo, Pinky, there's a reason for that, no? Because ang dami nang nag-consolidate the past few days before December 31, that's why LTFRB asked the DOTR kung pwede ma-extend or rather, especially the announcement, because hindi nila kayang to come up with an exact number like after a few days. That's why, to be fair, ang ginawa ng DOTR para at least hindi na tayo ma-pressure in releasing it soon because that is a very important number to be released. And to be fair also, dun sa ating mga operators na hindi nag-consolidate wherein due process has to be given, that's why the decision to give to them all up to January 31 was issued.
Okay. So I just want to go back to the last data I saw. It was in terms of PUV modernization, and we're not talking about jeeps, ano po, but please clarify, sir, 70% of PUVs have consolidated nationwide, and I saw a number of about 40% only in NCR. Are we talking about PUVs, public utility vehicles as whole, or are these focused on jeepneys?
When we said 70% or when we said almost 40%, but to be accurate, it is like 34% a few days before December 31, we were talking about UV, and then PUJ. So yun yung dalawang pinaka-importante, no? UV Express and PUJ. That's the basis for us to come up with those numbers.
This is the 34%, sir.
That's right, 34.
Opo.
And definitely, it will be higher kasi the 34% was like 2 or 3 days before the December 31 deadline.
And this is only in NCR. Yung pong 70%
Yes.
na sinasabing nationwide, is that also UV Express and jeeps?
Yes, nationwide na yan. Nationwide na yan.
Okay, so PUJ and UV Express, 70% nationwide, 34% NCR. But again, this was 2 days before the end or before the deadline of January 31. We need to take a very short break, December 31. Did I say that right? Yes, December 31. We will be right back. Watching The Source on CNN Philippines, I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Office of Transportation Cooperatives Chairman Andy Ortega. Chairman, so I want to go back to the 34%, no, NCR, PUV, and jeepneys. Again, it's good to note that this number was revealed 2 days before the deadline of December 31. So obviously, aakyat po ito. Ang tanong ko po, Chairman, ano ho ba ang sapat na percentage wherein government can say, this is enough in NCR na mag-consolidate itong mga PUV at jeepneys para ma-service, mabigyan ng tamang serbisyo ang commuting public?
LTFRB DOTR came up with the number na 65%, that is already enough. So obviously nationwide, lumagpas tayo doon na umabot nga tayo ng 70%. But yung sinasabi natin like sa NCR, when we talk about NCR, 34%, that's as a whole. So this is the solution that will happen because hindi nga lahat yan, 60% or 65% or more. So dahil sa there are routes that could have, definitely meron yan, 60% or less, then the routes that has more than 60% eventually will be given a special permit to assume that route na less than 60%. So yun yung solution based on the memo of LTFRB para mag-take over, saluin, tulungan ng isang ruta that has more than 60%, yung routes na less than 60%.
In other words, they will cover
Yeah.
it. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. But during that time, hindi lang yun ang solusyon because there are other modes of transportation during this period that could help, no? Like ito lang, sample, maliit na ruta, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, maybe most, side street, pwede naman mag-hire ka ng tricycle doon for such a route. Example, there's a route, 3-4 kilometers, but this route is under a long route, major route, na maybe 15 or 20 kilometers na ruta na merong consolidation, majority are consolidated, pwedeng kunin ng major route na sasakyan yung mga nag-aabang doon sa ruta niya
Na
na
3
supposedly
kilometers.
makaiksi lang biyahe. So, yun ang mga nilatag ng LTFRB during the transition of the 30 days,
Okay.
yung less than 60.
Opo.
But, sorry, just to
Okay,
end,
go ahead.
but what's good is, naglabas po ng memo ang DOTR, everybody now can fly the route during the 1 month. So definitely,
Yeah.
address natin
Yeah.
yung concern regarding the commuters.
In other words, dapat wala pa pong problema ngayon because kung ano yung nakagisnan, dapat magpatuloy po ngayon dahil pinapayagan po lahat to ply the routes na kanilang binabiyahe. Medyo baka po nervyusin yung iba dun sa sinabi nyo, Chairman, na kung 2 kilometers lang, kumbaga parang walang sineserbisyohan doon ay pwede mag-tricycle. Ang mahal ho ng tricycle, hindi ho ba?
Tama ka, that was raised to us. In fact, may nagtanong sa akin isang reporter or media personality, kaya nga, kailangan on the part of DOTR, LTFRB, bibilisan namin yung solution wherein a route will take, or rather an entity, cooperative, will assume another route para yung kanyang pagbayad kunyari ng 50 pesos or 40 pesos sa tricycle, it could happen maybe for a few days lang. Kasi but with what happened today, wherein everybody can still fly the route and this co-op that will be assigned, masasabihan yan way before January 31 or maybe a few days before that So dapat yan, by February 1, ready na
Okay.
siya to assume that. No?
Chairman, quickly, just to put this to rest, magkano ho ba talaga ang modern jeep?
Alam mo yung modern Jeep talagang it is really true base dati mga 1.5 million. Ngayon you could see 2 to 2.8. Obviously that is a concern by the transport sector regarding sa presyo ng ating mga manufacturer. But this is what will happen. By this year, 2024, clear that the program is a go. Wala nang hinto to because the delay in the consolidation which happened for 7 times, nagawa na po natin. So it's clear that the program will continue. It's clear that eventually bibili po ng mga modern vehicles yung ating mga mananakay. So competition will now come in. And when I say competition, magbababaan na po yun ang presyo, but more than magbababaan, quality vehicles will come in. Like there's this old, reliable company na gumagawa and gagawa ng traditional design, pero electric vehicle, the price that they are offering is like 985,000 for the first 1,000 buyers. And when we met with this group, with this person, the owner, they can do at least 1.2 for this same vehicle for the next thousands of customers.
Chairman, I've run out of time, no? I'm sorry. I wish to speak to you again, but which company is this that offers 985,000 per?
Yeah, if it's okay. Francisco Motors po, yung
Francisco.
one of the reliable
Opo.
company.
Okay. Sir, I hope we get to speak to again because there's so much to discuss, especially the subsidy to the jeepney drivers and operators. But I've run out of time. Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Office of Transportation Cooperatives Chairman Andy Ortega. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year.
Pinky.
And thank
Next
you
time.
for
Salamat
joining.
po.
Opo. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.